quilters, Sarah here from Sketchy, and today we are looking at some blocks that I'm working on for the framed pinwheels quilt along. So framed pinwheels is a pattern from Missouri Star Quilt Company, my favorite pattern from Missouri Star Quilt Company. And here we have some blocks. Today we're going to look at twisted seams. And I've said this in videos before, twisted seams do not bother me. But let's just look at a few here. In this particular block, there were a few of them where I ended up being able to nest the seams better if I twisted the seams, so moved the seams in a different direction than I originally had them pressed. And you can see that the seams match up pretty well, and I am always going to prioritize that over worrying about whether or not the seams are twisted. Twisted seams don't bother me anyway. You can't see them, but you can see if these seams are matched up well. So let's just look at the back of this one. You see here in this seam right here, I did twist that seam. That helped it nest better. And a potential problem with that is that seeing the shadow from that seam not being pressed to the dark side. Now you can see here on the front, you can't see the shadow. You can tell when you look close, you can tell that the seam, here's the seam, and then you don't see it, but you don't see any shadow from this darker fabric coming through. So I figure if you don't see it now, probably not going to see it when the quilt's quilted. And if you do, I still would prioritize this. And also the seam itself in this one doesn't look weird. So let's look at a few more. Here's another one where I did that. And this right here is the seam that I twisted. You can see, you see the seam, you don't see the seam. And for whatever reason, with this one, I twisted it a little bit further down. That was not on purpose. That's just how it went. You can see right here, the actual seam, other than the shadow from the fabric, doesn't look weird. It's probably not something that you're going to notice once it's all quilted up. Now let's look at this one right here, this next block. The seam is a little bit more obvious. So you can see that kind of weird pucker where that one is twisted. Also, but not worried about it, but you also see here that the seam matches up nicely. I'm not really worried about that. I'm going to quilt this one in paisleys, so I'm actually probably just going to quilt over, maybe have a line coming through right here to where you don't see that. Once I get this one quilted, we can look at this again to see how much these twisted seams actually made any difference in the final quilt. So what do you think? Twisting seams, yes or no?